A drug developed to stop organ rejection in transplant patients may also slow how fast you age. That's what animal studies have been suggesting for decades. But the human evidence tells a much more complicated story. I'm Annabelle Cross. Welcome to MedHeads. Rapamycin was discovered in soil bacteria on Easter Island in the 1970s and became a cornerstone of transplant medicine, given to patients to stop their immune systems from rejecting new organs. Then researchers started noticing something odd. Lab animals on rapamycin seem to age more slowly. The mechanism is elegant. Rapamycin blocks a cellular pathway called mTOR, essentially a nutrient sensor inside your cells. When mTOR is active, your cells are in growth mode. When rapamycin inhibits it, cells switch to maintenance mode, clearing out damaged proteins and recycled components in a process called autophagy. Think of it as forcing your cells to run a housekeeping cycle they'd otherwise skip. On paper, that should slow biological aging. In mice, it really does. When given to middle-aged mice, rapamycin delays the onset of cancer, neurodegeneration, and other age-related diseases. A study published in Nature Aging in May 2025 combined rapamycin with another drug called trametinib and found even more striking results. Around 30% longer lifespans, less inflammation across multiple organs, delayed cancer, and preserved cognitive function in older animals. These results are genuinely exciting. So why isn't every longevity doctor prescribing it? Because all of those studies are in mice. And translating animal research to humans fails more often than it succeeds. Despite decades of compelling animal data, we have no evidence that rapamycin extends human lifespan. Not one randomized controlled trial has shown that healthy people on rapamycin live longer. The most important human trial to date, the PEARL trial, published in April 2025, enrolled healthy adults aged 50 to 85, randomized to 5 or 10 milligrams of rapamycin weekly or a placebo for 48 weeks. The result? No significant effect on the primary endpoint. There were some secondary signals, modest muscle gains in women on the higher dose, some immune marker changes, but PEARL did not prove rapamycin slows human aging. There are some promising signals worth acknowledging. A small Oxford study found that low-dose rapamycin enhanced immune function markers in older adults, potentially relevant for how we handle infections as we age. Much larger trials would be needed to know if that translates to real-world benefit, and the most concrete human finding so far comes from reproductive medicine. A pilot study called Vibrant found rapamycin appears to slow ovarian aging by around 20%. A real biological effect in real humans. But one pilot study is a starting point, not a conclusion. Dose matters a lot here. Transplant patients take rapamycin daily, usually 2 to 5 milligrams, for continuous immunosuppression. People using it for longevity typically try 5 to 7 milligrams once a week. That intermittent approach is thought to produce some mTOR inhibition without constantly suppressing immunity. Short-term side effects at these doses are usually mild. Mouth sores, some gastrointestinal discomfort. Rapamycin can raise triglyceride levels and affect glucose metabolism. The bigger concern isn't short-term. It's that we have no long-term safety data for healthy people taking this drug for years or decades. That gap is not small. More than 20 American medical practices now openly advertise rapamycin as an anti-aging treatment. Telehealth companies are writing prescriptions with minimal oversight. The pitch is compelling because it's grounded in real science, the mechanism is solid, the mouse data is impressive, and early human signals are promising. But promising and proven are not the same thing. The science here is genuinely worth following. Rapamycin may eventually be part of how we age better. But right now, the gap between what it does in mice and what it does in humans is enormous. Comment below. If the evidence was solid and safety was confirmed, would you actually consider something like this? I genuinely want to know where you land on experimental longevity science. Subscribe if you want evidence-first health and medicine, no hype, no overselling. And explore the channel. There's a huge back catalogue of health explainers here that's well worth your time. Thanks for watching MedHeads.